Hey Lorain County wrestling fans, welcome back to another week of the Matt Report, brought to you by our friends at Cobos Insurance. Cobo Insurance is locally owned and proud supporters of high school wrestling, so please consider Cobos Insurance for all your insurance needs. Well, Tom, as we really start to dive into the season now, I think some of these dual meets that we've seen in Lorain County have really started to pick up some momentum. Let's start in the SWC, because I know they had a pretty hectic past week of action.
Well, and the Midview Middies are certainly on a roll right now. They had a big win, 47-27 over Amherst last Thursday to go 2-0 in SWC duels. Then they topped it off by going over to the defense duels over at Vermilion last weekend, going 8-0 over there, stretching their record to 10-0. The closest match the Middies had all weekend was to the runner-up Sailors. They were 51-27 winners over there for the second year in a row. Wow. Hunter Anderson came away the middleweight MVP for the tournament. Some other standouts for the Middies. Carson Morris, Gage Baribeau, both went 8-0 with 3 pins. Gabe Bohr, 5-0, 3 pins. Nate Schenberger, 7-1 with 7 pins. Marcus McMahon, 7-1 with 4 pins. Tyler Dye, 6-1 with 4 pins. Austin Byer and Dylan Bell both went 6-1. Aaron Cole, 6-1. Zach Wall, 6-2. So some pretty gaudy records for the Middies over there. And with the dual meet format, Coach Steele was also able to get some JV wrestlers on the mat too. So it was a good weekend for the Middies.
Very nice, very nice. How did the host Sailors do? I know it's a big, obviously big event over there in Vermilion. How did those host Sailors fare?
You know, the Sailors are on the rise over there. They came away with a third place finish, and Louis Strama came away with the lightweight most valuable wrestler for the tournament. So a pretty good weekend for the Sailors over there. I think they thought they matched up with the Middies a little bit better than they did. Port Clinton kind of snuck in there and finished in second place. The Clearview Clippers were also over there. Rough weekend for the Clippers. They had 3 starters out of the lineup. I talked with Coach Stedman, but bright spot for him was Cameron Carreras, their 285-pounder that's been trying to get down the weight for the last couple years. Goes 7-1, beat 3 ranked wrestlers over there, was named the most outstanding heavyweight wrestler, upperweight wrestler in the tournament.
Very nice, very nice. Now, how about Coach Jane and those Avon Eagles? I know one of the biggest stories of the week, they hand Elyria a extremely rare SWC dual loss.
Yeah, the tales of the Eagles' demise was greatly over-exaggerated. You know, they finished second to the Shoremen in the Cobos, and then they lost the duel, their SWC dual meet. But boy, they came out strong against the defending champ SWC Pioneers, champ Pioneers. They beat them 47-27. I think that's the first time Elyria's lost a match in the county in a long, long time. Big pins by the Eagles were Anthony Morasco, Riley Atkins, Angel Bazo, Nico Calamaris, and Ian Engelhardt all had pins, and then Mason Fitch and Luke Hammond came away with decisions for the Eagles. Winners for the Pioneers is the usual suspects over there. Isaac Green had a pin, Keon McKinney had a tech fall, and pins by Blake Cancel, Connor Holm with 2 15-pounder, Darius Atley rounding out the wins for the Pioneers with a major decision. That's the core of that group over there. I think that's good. They're going to carry them through some tournaments, but it looks like they're still trying to fill some spots in the Pioneer lineup for dual meets.
Now, we can't talk high school wrestling without talking North Ridgeville and Coach Joel Melvin. How did his Rangers do in this
My man
match?
Joel, they went over to Willoughby South, and the Willoughby South, nice little tournament over there with the Rebels. Avon came away the winners over there, but Ridgeville had a real respectable 4th place finish over there. The 4 guys we've been talking about for the first 2 weeks, standouts, Ian Rattari, 2nd place at 106, Caleb Grimm, 2nd place, and Nate Bober and Eddie Powers came away with championships over there. I think Eddie Powers got some special recognition by the SWC this past week as well. So, you know, it's they're few, but they're wrestling really well for Coach right now.
Now, in conference action, I know Amherst has kind of come out the gates a little slow, but they had a nice showing down in Hudson.
Yeah, they're 0-2, but, you know, and I said don't sleep on the comments. Billy Walker's a great coach. And that Hudson tournament, that's the 55th year of the Hudson tournament over there. They came away with a 5th place finish out of 23 teams. Really nice for the Comets. Vinny Bonamino was 3rd at 106. Van Anthony Tresno, 2nd at 113. Bishop Frierson was 3rd at 165. Ross Allville was 3rd at 215, and Braden Carpenter 6th at 285. So a pretty good weekend for the Comets. I think they're growing. I think that this is kind of the pace Coach Walker is going to bring them along at. But don't sleep on the Comets because they're going to be tough to deal with come the tournament time at the end of the season.
Now in the Lorain County League, kind of a slow past week it seems.
Yeah, they don't get into their tri-meets until double duels until after the first of the year. Keystone, I love Coach Bondriska's approach to things. They had an opening, so they took on Division I Brunswick, who's always got a really, really strong program. Lost a dual meet 45-36, but then they focused on some JV stuff for the weekend as well. So building up. They'll be heading over to Kenston for the Christmas tournament next weekend.
Okay.
So a little different schedule for the Wildcats.
Now, I know with the holidays hitting this weekend, school's on break, athletes taking some time off, so I expect things to be a little slow within the next week or so, but what is there to look forward to as far as on the mat action is concerned?
Yeah, this is a little bit tough when the holiday falls like on a weekend, like a Sunday, like this year. Coaches want to like squeeze a dual meet in so the guys just kind of keep their weight down. You don't want to have them go a whole week and a half without having to make weight, because the holiday tournaments, Avon Lake, Columbia, Wellington are all going down to Medina next week. That's the 28th and 29th. Elyria goes to the granddaddy of them all, Breck. So that's the oldest holiday tournament in the nation. That started way back in the 60s. And that'll be a great test. There's 45 teams or so over there. Keystone, as I said, goes over to Kenston. Kenston's one of those Christmas tournaments that's been going on since the late 60s, early 70s. Just a solid tournament. There'll be about 20, 24 teams over there. Real good tournament. Real good test for the Wildcats. Get to see some people they don't normally see on the east side of town.
Now, how hard can it be for some of these wrestlers to keep that weight intact over the holidays where the plates are pretty big?
And that's the struggle. We used to talk about when I was coaching at Elyria Catholic, since we had the keys to the Coliseum, we'd go in at Christmas Day after the guys would open their gifts. We'd go in the afternoon and play basketball for about 3 hours.
Get some cardio.
And wrestlers playing basketball is not like normal basketball. It's just you just kind of get out of their way and they kind of run up and down, knock each other around. But just to get them out of the house and get moving. So it is the holidays. You want them to enjoy that, but they're also they want to be at the weights that they're going to wrestle at all season for these tournaments, because they know they're going to see some really high quality competition.
I won't disagree with wrestlers on the basketball court. Back in my pickup days before I acquired about 15 walking boots, you wrestlers could get pretty physical out there.
Yeah, when we were in high school, the wrestlers showed up for open gym, the basketball coach would tell his guys to get off the court.
Oh, yeah.
Don't be around.
No, don't want to be messing with any of you guys. So, well, that'll pretty much do it for...
One more thing to sneak in there. I don't want to slight the ladies. Columbian Keystone's ladies will be over at Lutheran West on December 27th for the Lady Longhorn tournament. That'll be a good one. I think I'm going to try and sneak over there for a day if I get back from vacation enough. And then once we get back after the first of the year, that's really when the duels and tries start to kick in, and we'll get a better look at how the leagues are going to shape up.
All right. So way to sneak some love for the ladies in there, Tom. We certainly got to put girls wrestling here in Lorain County at the forefront of the conversation. So that'll do it for this week. We hope that all of you have a fantastic holiday weekend, and we'll pick up the action again kind of after the new year as things slow down a bit here for the holiday. So for Kristen Bauer behind the camera, for Tom Evans, I'm Rocco Ducci saying thank you for watching the Matt Report, brought to you by our friends at Cobos Insurance. Again, Cobos Insurance, they're locally owned and proud supporters of high school wrestling. Consider Cobos Insurance for all your insurance needs. We'll be back next week with more of the Matt Report.